In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at all three of our major models, the European model, the Canadian model, and the GFS model. Just want to say I have never seen these models differing so much as I'm seeing today. The European model that we're going to start out with here is a Debbie Downer. You're going to see that right away. But those other two models have a little bit more of a promising look. So we're going to take a look at all of these things. I really just want to have a very transparent view here of all of this. This has been so odd. Honestly, after this winter, I never want a La Nina ever again. That's how I feel. I feel like I wish it would just always be not a La Nina. That's how I feel. But I mean, I guess it wouldn't be fun if it was never changing. But still, it's just a really big bummer in general. As we see here, we see a low developing across Illinois. We know this is going to happen. We've kind of known about this. A strong cold front is going to develop where we will be watching for severe weather underneath. And then we have this warm front sector here. So again, we see this surging warm air out ahead of this. The low right here, snowfall as you can see as well, just to the west of that low. Cold front underneath, and this will be allowing the cold to pour in behind everything. So this cold and that cold front will be hitting the warm from the side, which causes horizontal rotation, which can be pushed down with downdrafts, which is, in other words, a lot of the cause of most severe weather. We see probably for Wednesday, it's going to be the first day of severe weather here in Texas and Oklahoma. Then as we reach into later on Wednesday afternoon, we could see things really ramping up across other states like Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, even Mississippi there. And then by the time we're reaching into Thursday, this looks a little bit more linear with probably some development out ahead of this cold front. But certainly severe weather is going to be possible probably in Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, maybe even east of the Appalachian Mountains a little bit there. Wouldn't surprise me really. And then Friday, we'll be watching right there in the southeast sector for severe weather. Now, keep in mind, we see that there is a pretty big ridge here in the west, and then this pretty dramatic trough. So when you see these ups and downs very violently like this, that is volatile, and you're looking for more intense weather with this typically. We see this low try to develop right here, but the cold air moves out. This low kind of just doesn't want to do anything. And then it ends up gently sliding off the coast, as you can see, very gently and elegantly sliding there right off the coast. Now, we do get another rising storm here, as you can see, in the same exact fashion as we saw it with that other one. Cold front there, probably a warm front right here somewhere. So we get this warm air surging into this area, and then again the swinging cold front underneath. So we would get basically the same exact setup, more severe weather for, we'll see here, Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe Thursday here in the deeper south, although that's kind of cut off from everything at this point. And we see the jet stream is very intense in the west. We see a very large trough, and in the east, we see this very intense ridge. And that's basically it for this model run. So we're left with that. And when we take a look at the total precipitation, you see there's two major storms arising across the central United States. So obviously, we get this majority activity right here. And then there is some lingering factors here for the southeast that we see a bit of, but there is a hole, as you can see, across the northeast and mid-Atlantic where there is not any precipitation really expected, according to this model. And then we do get quite a bit of precipitation throughout portions of the west as these storms move across. So we are expecting more of that as well. The total snowfall here is just shocking through the 17th of February. No snow for these areas. I can't believe it. I thought there's no way that there's not going to be a period of snowiness, even in a snowless winter. But this one has really been the exception, I would say, where it's been almost stuck in a snowless pattern since it started. And that kind of begs the question for me, right? I was thinking about it. What if the opposite happened? Why does the opposite of this never happen? Why would we never get stuck in snow after snow after snow after snow without any stopping? It seems like only and this is coming from the weather nerd perspective, right? The person that is hoping for the snow, hoping for the rainstorm, that type of thing. But why can't the one that I'm I would like to see happen. It's one of those bummer deals where only the more boring solution can happen here, where it's just completely snowless the entire winter. It can't be a winter where every single week there's a snowstorm without any warm-ups, because really this has been a snowless winter without any cooldowns. Why couldn't we see just a consistent trough in the east the entire way through? I feel like it's impossible at this point. Um, to see that. Uh, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. It is an interesting perspective taking a look at the opposite thing here. I just feel like the opposite would never be able to happen. That's my opinion, though. As we take a look at the GFS, though, even though that European model is snowless, we see the same exact thing here with storm number one. Wrong cold front, strong warm front, certainly going to bring some thunderstorm activity and severe weather activity with it, in my opinion. We do see things slide off the coast, and then we see more cold air move in, and we do see this low develop right around here. It's wanting to develop. We see some snowfall already here with that cold air. But look what happens just on Saturday, the 11th. This is a couple of days from now. We see the low develop, and the European model had this thing not even moving, but we are seeing a developing low, damming cold air coming in this way, rising warm air to the east. So that's kind of creating this imbalance where that cold is surging to the west of that low. And this allows for snowfall to occur along the east coast as a 997 millibar low pressure center develops here, as you can see. This would certainly be a surprise snowstorm, and certainly it would be a little bit of a quicker system, not that major. There is some heavy snowfall, but it doesn't last too long, and it does slide off the coast like that European model shows. The warm air after that low moves off is quickly able to surge in because again, when that low is right here, you do have the damming cold air coming down to the west of that low. But once this low moves out, we're able to see that kind of slow down and the warm air refills that area basically. I want to take a look at the total snowfall real quickly. Yeah, so this would be a bit of a minor to moderate system in here, which really we would all take that, right? I mean, let's be real at this point. But when you're relying on the GFS model, that's what I've always kind of said. You want to take it with a grain of salt, and really you don't want to be relying on the GFS model as your final straw. Kind of just, you know, we're we're just, not this isn't the best position to be in for a colder snow lover, I would say. We do get that second storm as well, 998 here with a strong cold front, strong warm front signal. So again, severe weather will be potentially happening again here as we approach mid next week. We do get a bit of a minor snowstorm here for the northeast with that, so a little bit more snowy already. Then we get this 988 millibar low pressure center up here, a bit of a secondary low here, and a cold front swinging underneath. A little bit of a warm front look, probably surging warm air out here, and certainly cold air hitting it from the side here. So this would also be another really intense severe weather look for all of these areas. So again, February and January looking much more like April and May with these back-to-back severe weather storms all the time seem to be happening. And look, another low developing, strong low, cold front underneath, warm front out here. And really, the look you would be seeing is this surging warm air, the cold air coming in behind. This is the fourth very promising severe weather look that we've seen on this model, in my opinion. And probably what we're going to see after this, my guess would be, is another surging storm with a strong cold front and a strong warm front bringing severe weather. If I was to take a look at the entire model run here and predict what's going to happen after, that would be my prediction. More of the same. Now the Canadian model here, let's just take a look at it. As we see, we get the surging storm. I want to see how this develops here, and it does kind of something in between. It moves, and there is snowfall happening. It's very minor, and it does slide off much quicker than the GFS model. And then that warm air is quickly able to move up. So it's going to be a tough situation. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. There is some interesting options, obviously, uh, some interesting possibilities, I would say. And we do see this is a very intense look, I would say. Severe weather underneath for all of these areas would be possible. Just a really interesting pattern we find ourselves in. And we're going to take a look at this European ensemble model real quickly for the temperatures, and we see warmer temps overall for the east. Now, by the time we're taking a look at about the 11th, we will see some colder air wanting to move in here, as you can see, to the east. So we're going to see this air mass here kind of move in, and this warm air is going to basically be forced out. We'll see this happen by about the 12th there. It looks very brief, and it is very brief. It's smaller at the top, larger at the bottom, so these areas will be impacted longer. These areas will be impacted shorter as it's moving from west to east. As you can see, lingers for the southeast a bit, and then we're left with a warmer air mass than we were before, a big trough out west, and then this massive ridge in the east by the 15th. And that lasts all the way until about the 18th, where we see a very cold air mass move in. This one is much larger on this European ensemble model, around that kind of 18th to 20th time frame. And this model's been showing this for quite a while now, so there is some legs to stand on here for sure. It only lasts until about the 21st, where we return once again to this negative P&A look, trough in the west, ridge in the east, and we basically close things out that way. So there is a little bit of promising things I think we've gone over in this video, but not that much. So I hate to say that to you guys, and I wish I could be like, oh yeah, it's going to be an action-packed 10 days, no matter what. But I just cannot say that. I have not been able to say that pretty much most of the winter, except for that brief period during around Christmas time. And yeah, that's that. We will be waiting for something, but patiently. Anyway, be sure to subscribe. We do upload every single day. Be sure to click the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload so you never miss one. Also, like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.